Hi Capricorn, welcome back. Laying out 10 more cards, 5 for love and 5 for career, to have a look and see how these general messages could potentially apply to you in these areas of your life. So let's jump into it and have a look and see what cards come up for Capricorn love. So this can be for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, for love. Okay, patience, patience. Something about timing is coming up here with the Temperance card. Now, this could be a Sagittarius here, or it could just indicate that patience is being needed in a situation here. Something needs to be mediated this month between you and another person, okay? The water hangs in the balance here. And it's a sharing of emotions, or it's taking on someone else's load somehow. So support and understanding is going to be required from you, from another person, someone you're romantically involved with, whether this person reaches out to you and tells you that or not. For some of you, this person will make it blatantly obvious. The Sagittarius is a bit of a straight shooter here. They don't really leave much mystery. They're pretty forthright and outcoming with things. So there might be a situation here where someone really vocalizes what they're needing from you, Capricorn. Especially if it is a fire sign, which you have the Sagittarius here, Wands, and the Knight. I feel like there might be a fire sign that wants to get things going, or that's moving things at a fairly fast pace here with the Knight of Wands energy. The Knight of Wands is not seen, I wouldn't say, as reckless. He's on a mission, he's deterministic, but he also strikes at opportunity. Now, there's going to be a window of opportunity for someone to speak up or say something they've been wanting to address to you here, Capricorn. It could also be, I feel like the Knight of Wands is very eager. So I feel like there's someone very eager, romantically, physically, sexually, very eager to be in your path, or to reunite with you, or to connect with you. Knight of Wands can also be a traveler. So if you're in a long distance relationship, someone might surprise you this month. You might be visiting this person, they might be visiting you, or the two of you might even tee up a time to meet together. Could be travel opportunities coming in for romantic partners as well. And then the Six of Swords is here, which could further reiterate that travel opportunity or foreign lover that might be coming in. But it also speaks of a journey. Some of you might be faced with resistance in love. There could be a disagreement here, an impulsive decision that's made. There could be someone wanting to walk away, maybe not forever, but maybe for a few days, for a few hours. They might be disconnecting to you from you, and they might be the ones that need to think and revisit these big questions that they have in love or philosophy, or questions around pacing. But both the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords are very similar in that regard, because he thinks very quickly, irrationally, and he acts on that. So he's the actor, he's the thinker. So impulsive decisions, whether yours or someone else's, a fire sign or an air sign here. If this is you, Capricorn, because you represent the Pentacles, if this is in fact you as the Four of Pentacles, you're actually withdrawing, much like that Four of Swords energy. So either you're withdrawing from a situation, or you're not fueling something. You're more sitting back and letting it unfold before your eyes, and then you might think about it, dwell on it, and really register what's going on here, and that's when you might take a course of action. But I feel for the most part, it could be that you're withdrawing from this person. You might notice yourself withdrawing from them. Or there could be a fellow earth sign around you, a fellow Capricorn, a Virgo, or a Taurus, who might be withdrawing from you. It's a quiet phase. It could be clinginess or codependency as well. There might be someone who's growing very codependent on you and what you provide, what you bring to them, or what you bring to the relationship, Capricorn. Expectations, okay, a lot of expectations here. Some expectations might not be met, and this is why that Seven of Swords is coming up. And I did mention wishes and fulfillment and fantasies and realities and things, someone trying to please you in that regard, but it might not meet the expectations that you have of this person or this relationship. I wouldn't say there's disappointments, but I would say there's possibly a situation here that needs to come to the surface and will, will come full circle, and it's either a lesson learned or it's going to elevate you, and you're going to see that you're actually past this phase in your life, or past a level, or past certain feelings. It's going to really solidify things for you, I feel, during this month. So that could also be coming up. But I do feel like there could be someone leaving the picture somehow, Capricorn. If they're not leaving physically, then mentally someone's checking out. And it could be just someone pulling away, someone that's needing distance, and you have to trust. The Six of Swords goes to the Temperance card, so you have to trust that they need to find some sort of balance, or they need to follow their... the angel can personify the higher realm, our subconscious, you know, something else that's calling us, something spiritual. They need to follow their spiritual path, their emotional path. And this is why they might be falling back, or this is why they might be taking time away and disconnecting, because there's a path they need to follow, whether for their children, whether for their sanity, their subconscious, their emotional orientation. Something like that could be coming up around them during this time as well. Let's have a look at your career and business and see what comes up around there, Capricorn. Okay, an important meeting potentially for some of you involving a Cancer or an Aries person. Now, the meeting is the Six of Cups, and this person could be from your past, so you might be bumping into an old colleague, an old business partner. There might be someone you're meeting up with that you haven't for a very, very long time. There could also be opportunities to learn a new skill or go back to school in regards to your career, maybe a different career choice. That might also be the case, because children can represent development and education, working with children as well here. But the moon is here. Now, it's either you're picking up something that you have done or wanted to do from your childhood or your former years, Capricorn. But there's some sort of sentiment or nostalgia attached to your career or somewhere where you're working. You might be leaving and it's bittersweet. You might be revisiting a past idea. You might be leaving and no longer working with someone that's been with you for a very long time in the business or the company. But there is an emotional aspect to career, or there will be an emotional highs or lows for some of you with the moon card. And it could be creative as well, okay? The moon card really breeds creativity. So some of you might be having a lot of great ideas that come to you fairly quickly and at the right time. Which is very special here, but for some of you it's emotional, because the Ten of Swords could indicate a betrayal or information that's withheld from you that you might find out not in the most pleasant of ways here. But I do feel the theme of loss is here. 5, you know, something that falls apart, slips through your fingers, or doesn't go according to plan, and then you'll have to say goodbye to it and either start something new or give credence to another project, give time, value, dedication to another project or something else here. It could be the loss of a person. That person might be leaving your business, might be leaving the company. Even a shift in attitude could be an air sign here, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The Ten of Swords can be an ending, so to speak. So this is why I sort of mentioned that before, because if it is an ending, it's a bittersweet one. And that could be why emotion is coming into play here, into the work sphere. It could also be you learn something quite emotional, okay, about maybe you discover something about yourself, or you learn something emotional about someone you're working with. Maybe someone that's had a bit of a facade. You know, the Emperor has to be quite poised and cool, calm and collected because he represents his dominions. So he needs to be the face of everything that he rules over. So there could be someone showing you a softer side to them, or maybe a more vulnerable side in the workplace. It could also be that you cross a boundary, for some of you that you're working with. You cross a boundary from a professional relationship with someone, and it could even be romantic. It could be romantic with the flowers here, the children, the excitement, or it could be an emotional boundary that you cross. because of the connection. Maybe you share intimate things about your family, but there is a crossing of some kind here, and that's going to bring you closer to these people. It's also going to help you understand them a little bit better. Maybe understand the way they are, the attitude they have, or the reasons why they might display some sort of attitude or work ethic even. So that could help you piece some things together. Now, the Emperor could be in Aries and is for the most part quite intimidating. So it could indicate an intimidating person, a situation, a company, an organization. For some of you, it might be a job interview and you might become very nervous and anxious about this because the Emperor is pretty hard hitting, okay? He hits with the big questions. There's an intimidating factor. They're highly skilled, highly knowledgeable, and really appreciate wisdom and work ethic. So if this isn't like a job interview or an intimidating setting, just sort of be prepared for that mentally, I suppose, Capricorn, because that could be coming up. But I think for the most part, you have the skills. All your cups are here, so you have things, you have advantages, whether from skills or experience or something like that, that'll help you. If you have your own business, you might be taking on younger staff or less experienced staff, but there might be losses. There might be losses in the business, and you're just going to have to give something or someone a second chance. Second chances are coming back around. Second chances at ideas, at people, at projects, and things like that here with the Five of Cups. But I do sense there'll be a lot of stops and starts in business or career. But fortune is looking up. There could be someone influential with the Emperor, an agent, a collaborator, a sponsor, someone from management, someone from high up that might be watching you, might be wanting to connect with you, hear your opinion, hear your feedback. But let's look at the Emperor. The Emperor often rules new beginnings because the Emperor is the Aries. He ushers in the zodiac, the first of the zodiac here. So it's quite interesting that he's come up. You might be pioneering something here, paving way. The Aries is often a trendsetter. They're daring, they're adventurous, they take risks. They're known to take risks. So some of you might be taking risks in your career. They may pay off and be very much welcomed and really hit it off and blow up, or they might conclude in losses. Time will tell. I guess it's obviously we're all working with different companies in different areas, different industries, and in different careers. So obviously the result will differ for a lot of us. That could also be coming up. Some of you might be even working from home, or there's a focus on the home, starting something from home, from the comfort of your home or community or neighborhood, even getting your name out there, getting customers, clients from your community or neighborhood,